Hello everyone, welcome back to Genius Knowledge Point, your one place for practical programming solutions for computer and IT students. I am making this video to provide practical knowledge to all students so that you can develop your own programs which will be helpful for your studies as well as career. In this video we will see practical number 21 of Java programming, which is according to case scheme of Diploma Computer and IT students and 4th semester. The topic in this video is to implement action event in frame using swing component. So in this practical we are going to use action event, but the question is not related to action event, it is just related to design only. So that we will see in the practical related questions. So actual action event will be seen in the next practical, which is practical number 22. So moving toward the first question, write Java program to display following output. So if you see, there are multiple components available and they are looking like AWT components. They are not swing components because the submit button is not like swing button. So that's why all the components are AWT components, and one label is there which is having name as a string, then text field is there, then second label is there, comments and text area is there, and finally submit button is there. So this is how multiple controls are added inside this AWT frame, and we have to generate design like this. So for this purpose we will be using a different layout which is called GridBagLayout. So what is the difference between grid layout and GridBagLayout? Whenever we are creating grid layout, it is just dividing our portion of window into rows and columns, and according to the sequence they will be added to the empty cell which is starting from the left first row and first column, and similarly they will be added horizontally, then they will be added to the next line in one by one cells. But in GridBagLayout you can define some different properties, like you can decide in which cell you want to add that control. So this is how the GridBagLayout is different here. So that we will use inside our coding. So moving toward the code directly. So initially I am importing java.awt package because all the controls that we have seen in the diagram, those are AWT controls. So I am importing java.awt.star. Then I am creating my class definition as class GridBagDemo1. So this is the class I am defining, extends frame. So again I am using AWT frame here, you can use JFrame here also. So this is how I am taking the properties of frame class into my user defined class. Next I am creating the objects which are needed. I am declaring all the objects which are needed inside our design. So first I am declaring one button object which is B1, then label object as L1 and L2 because we need two labels here, then text field object as T1, then text area object as TA. So all these objects are declared here. Next I am creating my constructor. So GridBagDemo1, so this is the constructor name. Then after that I am setting GridBagLayout by using GridBagLayout object. So GridBagLayout GB is equal to new GridBagLayout. So this is how I am creating my GridBagLayout object. So next, to use GridBagLayout or to use the properties of GridBagLayout, we have to use one more class which is called GridBagConstraints. So I am creating one object of that is GBC is equal to new GridBagConstraints. So this is how the constraint properties will be set to GridBagLayout. Next I am creating or initializing the objects which we have declared earlier. So B1 is equal to new button, attaching or adding the submit string inside that button. Then L1 is equal to new label, then adding name string inside that label. Then L2 is equal to new label, adding comments as a string. Then T1 is equal to new text field, so assigning width as a 10 characters. Then TA, which is text area object, is equal to new text area 10, 30. So 10 characters, 10 lines and 30 characters will be stored inside that text area. So this is how all the objects are initialized now. Next, setting the layout using setLayout function and passing GridBagLayout object which is GB. Then I am using gbc.fill is equal to GridBagConstraints.horizontal. So initially I want to add the controls horizontally using one more class which is called panel. So to add a constraint horizontally or add controls horizontally, you have to use GridBagConstraint.horizontal. Then I am adding gbc.gridx is equal to 0, gbc.gridY is equal to 0. So initially I am adding the control or adding the value or control inside my GridBagLayout at 0, 0 location. That means it is added at first row and first column. So if you see at the diagram, it is horizontally added, so it is added at first row and first column. So that's why I am setting GridX and GridY properties as 0, 0. Next I am creating an object of panel class. So panel is needed whenever you want to combine multiple controls inside a single control. So that is called a panel object. So I am creating panel P1 is equal to new panel, and in that panel I am setting new flow layout. So automatically the controls will be added one after another inside that panel. Next, inside the flow layout constructor I am assigning value as flow layout dot left, then 25, 0. So this is the horizontal and vertical space, and I am adding the controls to the left side of the flow layout portion. So this is how the panel will be created, and on the left side of the panel the controls will be added. Then inside that panel I am adding the controls as p1.add L1, then p1.add T1. So first label and text field will be added according to our design. So label is added and text field is added, and this entire portion is inside a panel. So this is how we have added first panel, and in that panel we have two controls, which is name and text field. So the panel is done here. Next I am creating add function on the window, which is adding P1, GBC. So P1 will be added, and GBC we have already seen. We have set the GBC location to 0, 0. That means we have set the GBC properties as first row, first column, and they are adding horizontally. So the panel will be added in the horizontal row at first row and first column. So the panel will be done here. Next I am again using gbc.fill. Again I am using horizontal constraint. Then this time I am using gbc.gridx is equal to 0 and gbc.gridY is equal to 0. So 0 and 1. So 0 means gridx. Whenever the gridx is 0, that means we are using the single column, and gridY is equal to 1 means we are using a first row. So the second panel will be added as a first column and second row, or a second row and first column. So this is the second row. So this is the second panel that I will be creating. So next I am creating second panel, which is panel P2 is equal to new panel. Again setting flow layout to the panel. Then in that panel I am adding L2, which is label 2, which is storing the comments value, and TA as a text area. So both the controls are added inside our design. The label 2 is added and text area is added, which is again inside a single panel. Then we have to add that panel to the window using add P2, GBC function. So P2 will be added, and GBC we have already set to 0 and 1. That means first column and second row the location is set here. Next again I am using for the third row. So gbc.fill GridBagConstraint horizontal, again I am setting. Then gbc.gridWidth is equal to 1, because I want to add the submit button to the second cell now on the third row. So that's why I am setting width as a 1. So automatically it will be added to the second location, which is having 1 value. Then gbc.insets I am setting, which are the coordinates or the properties of button, which is similar to set bounds. So 0, 85, that will be the location of the starting point, and 100, 100 will be the width and height. So this is how the insets are set for the cell. Next I am adding B1, GBC. That means the button B1 will be added to the GBC value, which we have already set using these GridBagConstraints. So finally all the controls are added here. Next the remaining part is setting the size, then setting the title and making the frame visible. So these are the functions that we have already seen in the previous practicals. So the constructor is complete here. Finally we have to create our main function as public static void main string args. In that I am creating object of my class GridBagDemo. Obj is equal to new GridBagDemo1. So automatically the constructor will be called here, which is default constructor, and all this coding will run and our output will be displayed accordingly. So saving the code. So to run this code I have to go to the location. So the location is opened here. Opening CMD here. First command is javac space classname.java. So no error. So I am entering second command java space classname only. So the window is opened here, and it has designed according to GridBagConstraint or GridBagLayout. So even if you are moving or maximizing the window, the output will remain same, because it is set according to GridBagLayout. The position is fixed according to GridBagLayout. We have added the first panel, and in that panel we have name and text field. In the second panel we have second label, which is comments and text area, and in the third we have not created any panel, we have directly set the cell value using the constraints, and we have added a button here which is submit button. So this is how the design is complete here, and we have completed this question. And also practical number 21 is complete, which was regarding the design of this form, which is done using GridBagLayout. We have used GridBagConstraint here to set multiple properties of that GridBagLayout, and we can add anywhere in that GridBagLayout using the proper constraints. So this is how this practical is ended here. So that's it for today's practical. I hope you understand the program clearly. If you found this video useful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel for more such programming solutions, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a new video. If you have any doubts or need solutions for other programs, drop a comment below. I will be happy to help. Thanks for watching and happy coding.